Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash, and this is your Premier League punters. Winners everywhere we looked last week. There's always going to be one or two little dodgy ones, but the majority, they came in for us. We're going to be with Matt Lawrence and Martin Green. But first of all, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button, ring the bell. If you ring the bell, then that means we'll be able to notify you and you will never miss any content again. And if you press the link in the description, then that will take you to all of our soccer articles, whether it be from Martin, whether it be from Alex. And also, if you start exploring, you'll see other writers on other sports. You'll have a great time over there. Now, we'll start with Matt. Matt, last week, there was a few gifts, and they all came up nice.
Definitely a few gifts out there. And I think that there's a couple more gifts in this upcoming card. So, yeah, after Liverpool hoisting the title last night, I'm feeling pretty good, and I'm ready to go, as always. It's
amazing how they're all celebrating and that. It was as if they were going to get beat, Martin. It was like, there's no chance they were ever going to get beat, so let's just have an excuse for a party.
Yeah, but to be fair, I think they deserve a celebration. They've been very good all season, and like they say, they've waited 30 years for this. So I do feel a bit sorry for them, actually, that they've won the title during this horrendous coronavirus lockdown. But in their own small way, I think they're entitled to some good celebrations and a few beers. And yeah, well done. Looking forward to seeing if they can defend the title next year. But right now, it's their time to celebrate. I think we can allow them that.
You make me laugh. And Arsenal fans say, I feel a little bit sorry for Liverpool. Listen, they've been absolutely outstanding. Remember now they're Champions League, Super Cup winners, and now all of a sudden, they're not all of a sudden because they were always going to be doing it, but they're Premier League champions as well. Now, just go a little recap on what happened over the last 4 or 5 days. Matt, Wolves draw half-time and they win full-time.
It happens once again. It looks like a decent bet again this week too. Yeah, this Wolves side, as we know, they like to start a little slow, and they sure find their way though. Nuno Santos, I don't know what he's putting in the water bottles at halftime, but it's something that's tasty because those Wolves really know what they're doing in the second half.
Yeah, Martin, what about, I don't even know why I'm saying this, but Arsenal winning 2-0. I thought both teams to score an over 2.5 goals. But I've seen nearly every single game, and there's so many teams now that I'm happy to go against. And I watched Norwich and I watched Everton. Everton were an absolute joke. They're half an hour to go, they're 1-0 up, and they're playing it around at the back. Never looked like going for a second goal. And Norwich didn't even look like scoring.
Yeah, that was an abysmal game. I don't think that was a great advertisement for all the joys that the Premier League has to offer fans around the world, sadly. So move on from that one. Not sure how to call Arsenal at the moment, really. Should have beaten Brighton and threw it all away. I was getting stick on Twitter for saying that Arsenal could win. They were saying, don't keep betting on Arsenal because you support them. So I said, all right, I won't bet on them to beat Southampton. I'll go both teams to score. That seemed like the safest bet of midweek. Lo and behold, they keep a clean sheet. Rob Holding has his best performance yet in an Arsenal shirt. So very, very unpredictable side. Up against Norwich next time out, I think you've got to fancy another 3 points for the Gunners. See how they get on in the FA Cup game against Sheffield United, because that'll be an interesting one. Sheffield United are also in poor form. Really haven't started well again after the break. So, yeah, hopefully Arsenal can pick up a few points now. But, yeah, definitely going to keep fading Norwich.
Matt, he mentioned Sheffield United. I think they've been a bit unlucky because they've had 3 games in 6 days. Then they have not got the biggest squad. They don't score enough goals. And they've had 2 away trips at Newcastle. That's a tough place to go when it's rocking or when the players are rocking. And then you go to Man United, and Man United are looking strong.
Yes, yeah, it's been a really tough schedule after the coronavirus for Sheffield. And I think that they're going to find a way to bounce back here. I think that they're just too solid at the back. I don't think that this form can continue. And yeah, there's a play that I like in that Tottenham Sheffield match, because I do think that Sheffield will bounce back at least defensively here.
Wow, I'm looking forward to that then, because I reckon I might be going 100% against you. But let's kick off then. We'll come to you first, Martin. We got Villa at +380, draw +275. And Wolves draw half-time, win at the end at -120.
Yeah, I'm a little bit hesitant because it's rare for teams to win 3 on the bounce in the Premier League, but been very, very impressed with Wolves so far since the season has resumed, and they were in very good form before the break, to be fair as well. I think expert game management, they've got very good midfielders, they're a strong team, they're a very effective unit, very well managed, very well drilled and disciplined, and they've got really good substitutes that they bring on in the second half, which causes them to win these games. Aston Villa, very unimpressed with them so far, looking like they're going to go down at this rate. They fight hard, but lacking a bit of cutting edge up front. And they're obviously going to raise their game because these are local rivals. This is a big Black Country derby. But I still think Wolves can get the job done. So, yeah, looking at Wolves. Look, Wolves just a straight win, 1.82 looks good, but can't imagine it being too high scoring a game. So I'll go for Wolves and the under 4.5 goals as that classic bet, 2.05.
That's a massive bet. I mean, I've wrote down unders and Wolves to win. So, I mean, you can almost go, if you was really brave, you'd go Wolves and the under 2.5, or you just go under 2.5 goals. Matt, the big thing with Wolves is they keep the ball. They tire you out, and then they bring on their subs. And remember, they're allowed to have 5 now, and then they find a way to get it done.
Yes, they do. They seem to do it week in and week out. They have not, stuttered whatsoever, really, at, coming off this break. And I think that Wolves here on the money line at -120 is more than fair, just to keep riding them out. And they've been good to us the last 2 weeks. I don't see any reason to change here. Villa they continue to find ways to lose football matches. They have individual quality, as we know, but just something, it just doesn't work out for them. They give up way too many shots. That's one of their biggest problems. And Wolves, I watched the highlights of the reverse fixture. They were all over Villa. And Villa scored in the 92nd minute to make it 2-1. It was very simple and easy for Wolves, and with no fans in the stands here, I think that they can do the same thing here on the road. Yeah,
I think it's wrong to say that Villa have got good quality, because you take Grealish and McGinn out of that side, and I think they're a championship side. I mean, they've let in so many goals. They don't score enough goals. They don't create enough. So for me, I can't have Villa. I'm going with Wolves. And Wolves and under 4.5 at 2.05. That's got to be a massive lock. Now, this is a massive price, this next game. It's Watford at +165, draw +245, Southampton plus 195. Matt, I'm going to come to you first. Watford, desperado to win their home games.
Definitely. And man, they are in poor form right now. They looked terrible against Burnley yesterday. It was really bad. They turned up a little bit in the second half. They were all over them for about 5 minutes. Then the water break happened, and then it was against the run of play when Burnley scored on the counterattack. Again with Southampton as well. I mean, they looked pretty bad against Arsenal. I cannot split these sides. This is really my one pass. I don't want it to have anything to do with this match. If anything, I think a first half draw is worth a look.
Okay, Martin, I've gone with Watford draw no bet. I think that's the one way to go. Both teams to score no, but I wouldn't put anyone off Watford straight win at +165.
I'm a bit sceptical. I went for Watford draw no bet at Burnley. I thought they've got to get a result there. Burnley have got nothing to play for. Watford fighting for their lives. They were in terrific form before the season ended. And they just haven't rediscovered that form. I'm looking at, this is the team that beat Liverpool 3-0, and I'm just wondering where that energy, where that desire, where that drive has gone. Don't know if it's a problem with motivation or just they're not getting the rub of the green, but results aren't going for them at the moment. So I'm a little bit nervous for them about their relegation chances now. I think they've got enough quality to get out of danger and beat the drop, but things are looking a bit precarious. Not sure what you're going to get with Southampton, really. Didn't put in a great performance against Arsenal last time out. Pretty limp from them. I'm expecting a pretty low-scoring game in this one. No idea how the outrights will go, but I'm considering under 2.5 goals at 1.88.
That's not bad, because I've got obviously both teams to score no, but the big thing for me is the character, the attitude, and there's a mismatch of strength across the middle of the park that favours Watford. So I'm not going to put anyone off Watford at plus 165. And if you want to go draw no bet, then that's a little bit of a safe haven for you. Now, I've put a line through this one straight away. Crystal Palace at plus 132, draw plus 225, and Burnley at plus 250, Martin.
Put a line through it, move on. Two very, very evenly matched teams. Absolutely nothing to play for, so they can both play with freedom. Yeah, similar in terms of quality. Who knows? I think it'll be another low-scoring game. Could be decided by a moment of magic from Wilf Zaha, or just Burnley lump the ball up and someone nuts it in. I think it'll be a low-scoring game, but I don't think you can get great value on unders anyway. So pass, move on.
Yeah, I wrote pass, unders. Matt.
Great minds.
Same. Yeah, it's a pass, and if anything, under 2.5 at 2.15. It doesn't look like Zaha will feature here. He pulled up in the last match. Palace have won the last 4 head-to-heads versus Burnley. I thought that was somewhat interesting, but I need to see Zaha in that lineup to really ever back Palace. So, yeah, it's a lean for me. Under 2 goals, 2.15. It looks pretty good. I don't think this one's going to touch 3 goals.
No, without a doubt, I think. And again, the draw half-time will definitely be a factor. Brighton, plus 400. Draw, plus 260. Man United at plus 140. I fancy that's coming in all the time.
Yes. Yeah, for me here, yeah, United have definitely taken some steam, and rightly so. I found United at minus 128 or 1.78. I'm going to try fading Brighton one more time here. It didn't work last week with Leicester. I thought that they were really impressive, though. A player that really stuck out to me was Tariq Lamptey of Brighton. He was a Chelsea youth player. They just snatched him up in January. What a great right back he was. He was man of the match for me against Leicester. He was all over Vardy and co on the counterattack. They could not create anything, and really Brighton deserved the 3 points there. So for me, United, though, look great right now. And I just love the lineup that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is putting out there. And I think that they should get the job done here. I know that they have an FA Cup match coming up against Norwich, but they should be able to rotate and be ready to go. And I think that it's still a fair price to take them right now at under minus 130. I'll bite one more time here and try to fade Brighton.
Yeah, I think it's a mistake on my behalf on that graphic that says plus 140. I think it was wishful thinking, or we went back to Flash's bookie, Martin. I think that should be minus 140.
Yeah, they were pretty well priced a day or so ago, Man United. The line has definitely moved considerably in the past 24 hours. It's getting shorter and shorter on Man United. So I think if you do fancy them to win, get on them sooner rather than later, because I think the odds will keep dropping. But yeah, the price on offer, like you can get about 1.8 on a Man United win. I think that looks very good. Brighton, very impressive, really, since the restart. Obviously, we know they beat Arsenal. They played well there. Did very, very well to get a 0-0 draw against Leicester. Could have won it were it not for a missed penalty. Yeah, Bissouma for me is the main man for them. He just charges about the centre of the park, fouling people, winning the ball. He's basically doing the job of Ndidi or Kante or someone like that. I think they've got a good player. They're very solid. But I do just fancy Man United to have enough quality to open them up. Martial's looking like he's on fire now. Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba. I think, yeah, too much quality. Like I say, I think Man United can still get up into the top 4 before the end of the season. This is a game that they absolutely have to win. So, yeah, just go for a straight Man United win. Once again, you could combine it with unders if you want a bit more value, because Brighton don't give up too many goals. I don't see this being a huge high-scoring game. But yeah, Man United to grind out a narrow victory for me.
Yeah, I've got Man United, and I've done a parlay across all the European, and my 2 from the Premier League is that Man United just to win the game. The thing is with Brighton, they're so organised. Yes, they played against the Leicester side the other day that had. It looked like they would be fined if they played a forward pass. I mean, Mendy and Ndidi made more square passes and backward passes. The fullbacks didn't get into the final third. They were very, very laborious. Martin is a word that you like to use. and I couldn't agree more. Leicester were an absolute joke. But Brighton were just organised, and they kept lumping balls up. And listen, Dunk, Duffy, the lad who went off injured, Webster. They just love them. They play straight lines. They go and head the ball. So, but for me, Man United, they'll be too sharp for them in and around the box, and I think they'll get it done. Now, Arsenal, minus 175, draw, plus 360, and Norwich, plus 580. Norwich can't score goals, Matt, so they could be plus 1,000 for me.
Yes. Yeah, they really have struggled to score goals. They've been terrible since the restart. And Arsenal haven't been so bad. I think that they would look decent against City. I think that they deserved more points than what they received against Brighton, and they did a good job yesterday against Southampton. I think that Arteta's philosophy is really solid. I think that it is, somewhat of a, rebuilding mode for Arsenal, if you will. But I think that in 1 to 2 years' time, I think that Arteta is going to have the squad ready to go. They just need to figure out some of the financial things there at the club. But for me, it was pretty easy. Arsenal and under 4.5 goals, 1.77 minus 130. It's fade Norwich.
I worry about that under 4.5 goals, though. I'm definitely with Arsenal. I mean, I think Arsenal could win 2-0. That means that obviously Norwich will get some kind of goal from a set piece or a penalty. But Martin, I think Arsenal could go absolutely to town here, and I'm happy to maybe give Arsenal minus 1.5. And with that firepower, they could just go berserk.
I hope so. We drew 2-2 with Norwich earlier in the season. It was a horrible game. It was one of the few games that Freddie Ljungberg took over as caretaker manager for. I'm very impressed with the philosophy of Arteta. Don't think he's the problem. I think just the players that he's got at his disposal are the problem. Strange to see them signing up David Luiz for another season. Just feels like giving away money to me. Not sure what they're doing there. But yeah, they do have enough attacking quality to take down a very lacklustre Norwich side. I think they seem to have accepted the fact that they're getting relegated. Arsenal should be far too sharp for them. I actually like to see Arsenal play a few of the young academy players like Eddie Nketiah, Bukayo Saka, Joe Willock. I think they've got a bit more about them than the likes of Alexandre Lacazette at the moment. And Arsenal do have good strength in depth going forward. So I think, especially in the second half, they can overwhelm them. Yeah, I'm going to go the other way and go for Arsenal and over 1.5 goals at odds of 1.87.
Yeah, and I would go Arsenal and over 2.5. Arsenal win 2-0. And the big thing for me about Arteta, he needs 3 defenders. He needs 2 centre-halves, proper centre-halves, and he needs a right back. For me, a left back, Sacco, he does a decent job, and I think he'll grow. Now, I'll put a line through this. Bournemouth plus 145, draw plus 230, Newcastle plus 230, Martin, and it looks like a line through for me.
Yeah, very difficult game. I'm thinking of putting a line through it as well. It does look like a good opportunity for Bournemouth to get back to winning ways. I have to say, they've also been very, very poor since the season resumed, which is very surprising considering the level of danger that they're in right now. Marooned in the relegation zone. Eddie Howe should be a good manager, should have been able to motivate them, but something's not working. Haven't scored in their last 2 games, which is poor. They're coming up against the Newcastle side, who are mid-table, got nothing left to play for. Should be a game that they can win. So, you might fancy a small stake on Bournemouth or Bournemouth draw no bet, but recent evidence suggests that they'll struggle. And Newcastle are playing with freedom, so they could get a result there. So, yeah, probably best to put a line through it. Gun to the head, I would go with Bournemouth, but yeah, don't really fancy this game either.
See, gun to the head, I would have gone for Newcastle, draw no bet, because I know how solid they're going to be at the back. And obviously you've got goal shy Bournemouth. I mean, maybe both teams to score, no as well. What do you think, Matt?
I lean more towards Newcastle here. So I've gone with Newcastle plus a quarter of a goal. Give me that quarter of a goal head start here. I think that the more and more that Bournemouth continue to push, and like we know that the pressure is on them, obviously, in this relegation battle, the more and more that they push for a goal, the more and more to me that they could be exposed on the counterattack, and the likes of St. Maximum, Joe Linton. I think that they can find a goal here. It looks like another unders match. And so thus I'm happy to take a plus quarter of a goal head start here with Newcastle.
Okay, before I carry on, it's just a little reminder for myself, is that we've put a link just below this video, which is an odds converter, because obviously we've got an American odds over there. But obviously this show now, and I'm pleased about this, it's worldwide. I mean, I've just in my summer analytics, I've got 25% Americans, I've got 7 or 8% English, and the rest is all over the world. They all love this show. So if you don't understand the American odds, we have actually put the converter in. I thank you for those that have put the comments in of saying about it's football, it's soccer. Listen, we all know what it is. We all love it. You can call it what you like. And the odds, they're up there in American. And we also do the European odds as well. So we're trying to cover every angle. But thanks for your feedback. Now, what a horrible game. Everton plus 165. Draw plus 247. And Leicester plus 187. I see that this could be a possible 0-0, Matt.
That's where I'm at here. I'm at halftime draw. The last 12 home matches for Everton, they are unbeaten at halftime. And the same goes for Leicester. The last 12 matches, just in total for them, they have been unbeaten at halftime. Combine those two together here, I'm getting 2.08 on a halftime draw, or plus 108. I lean under 2.5 goals, and I couldn't agree more with you here, Flash.
It's horrible. It's horrible because I'm looking at NDD and Mendy, and if he plays both of them together. Now, listen, have a look at the lineups, because if he plays Tielemans, he plays Harvey Barnes. Listen, I've never been a Demarai Gray. I was actually on the scouting panel when Demarai Gray was being watched, and I said no every day. He flatters to deceive. He might score 1 in every 20 games, but when he's in the side, I don't think he gives enough, and there's a few of them in that side. And poor old Vardy, because he's got to do all the running himself, because Iheanacho, he's not doing anything either. Martin, do you find a winner here?
No, I can't see a winner. I agree it could be a draw. I certainly like the look of draw half-time. Don't know why, I've just got a sneaking suspicion both teams can score in this one, which obviously goes against the grain of what you guys are saying. I just feel like there's got to be a bit of a reaction. It's been turgid stuff from Leicester since the season resumed. They're seeing Chelsea winning behind them. They're seeing Man United looking strong. Fifth might not be enough to qualify for the Champions League, depending on what happens with Man City. So I think they're going to want to come out and express themselves a little bit. We haven't seen much from James Maddison. Same again from Everton. You know, they've been very poor going forwards in the 2 games, but they've got the results, so you can't complain. But I just feel like a few tired legs. We might see a bit more of an expressive game between the two of them. I can see it being 1-1, 2-1, something like that. So, yeah, I'm looking at both teams to score at 1.8. Odds are drifting on that. So if you agree with me, maybe wait another day or two and they'll be even larger.
Yeah, just a reminder that all of these games, they're spread over the next 7 days, and we're going to cover them right up until the big one, which is Man City versus Liverpool. Now, West Ham at plus 410, draw plus 320, Chelsea minus 143. I've got question mark because West Ham, Chelsea, massive derby. But, Martin, you've got to be thinking that Chelsea now, they're going to be too strong. But you watched them against Villa last week, and if they didn't score 2 in 2 or 3 minutes, then they could have come away there with nothing.
Yeah, true. I just think Chelsea will be buoyed by that performance against Man City. It was a phenomenal win for them. I think they looked a lot sharper as soon as they brought Olivier Giroud off, as soon as they had Tammy Abraham up top, chasing the ball, giving them a really good outlet. I think they look very, very sharp. Christian Pulisic, for me, is looking very good. Lots of attacking options as well. He can rotate. I think we could see a bit of Chelsea playing a bit like they did at the start of the season when they were really putting a lot of wins together. I think the break came at a really good time for them. They look rejuvenated. I just feel like Aston Villa are a different team to West Ham. West Ham, chaotic defensively. They'll pour men forward. They'll try to score. It's just not in their nature to sit back and defend, I don't think. So, yeah, Chelsea will just be too strong for me in this game. Chelsea is a straight win. Looks good. But again, I think I'll combine it with the over 1.5 goals for a bit more value. 1.95 you can get on that.
Okay, and what would be the odds on Chelsea in under 4.5? Because you know what West Ham are like. I mean, and this game here, this could easily be a 1-0.
Maybe. I'll just look that up for you.
Okay. Well, Matt, how you got West Ham Chelsea?
So for me, I'm siding with Martin as well. I think that Chelsea should be too much for West Ham. We've talked about it now for weeks. I think that West Ham are a fade side. They don't know how to defend. They're not that great on the counterattack. Chelsea have a big FA Cup match, as we know, against Leicester, but I think that we all can understand that Frank Lampard will prioritize top four over FA Cup. So they will rotate in the FA Cup fixture. And I think that they'll have their best 11 here ready to go to secure top four as quickly as they can. I like Chelsea, and I like the under 4.5 goals. It's hovering around evens, and I think it's worth a bite.
Yeah, I just don't
Yeah,
like
I
the
just
fact
think
that
it's
a
gone out a
massive...
little bit. So you can get 2.1 on Chelsea and under 4.5 goals, plus 110 in American odds,
Yeah,
or 11 to 10 in English odds.
I definitely fancy the under 4.5. I'm just not sure that I fancy Chelsea because, yeah, everything points to them, but it's that London derby. It's just, and obviously no crowd, I get that. But West Ham have got to produce something. I'm going to put a line for it and just cheer you boys on. Now, Sheffield United plus 287, draw plus 250, Spurs plus 110 around the even money mark. Matt?
Yeah, under 2.5 goals for me here in this one. I found that at minus 135 or 1.75. I think that Sheffield will bounce back here after getting thrashed by United a little bit. I believe and trust in Chris Wilder to get the boys organized and ready to go. I still think that Tottenham lacks some venom up top, even though, they do have Kane back and Son and whatnot firing on all cylinders. But the last three for Spurs have seen under 2.5 goals. 14 of 18 in Sheffield home matches have seen under 2.5 goals. I just think that Mourinho has the Spurs side organized and well drilled. I don't see Sheffield getting on the score sheet. So I think that this one will stay under.
And there's another thing that's just come to my mind, Martin. It's Sheffield United away at Villa, away at Newcastle, away at Old Trafford. Now they're back at home. I think Spurs win the game, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a difficult run of fixtures for them that they're on the road 3 times. There's a lot of travelling involved, but they are playing an empty stadium, so you would have expected them to pick up some points from that run of fixtures. I think before the season was suspended due to the coronavirus, they would have beaten Aston Villa, and you would have definitely fancied them to beat Newcastle as well. Came at a terrible time for them. It's derailed their momentum, and yeah, things don't seem to be going right for them at all. They are the surprise package of the season. They didn't invest much in the summer after getting promoted. Chris Wilder's done a fantastic job. You can't take that away from them. But yeah, I see them slipping down the table a bit in the weeks ahead because they do lack a bit of quality. It was all just based on organisation and hard work, and tired legs, small squad in this heat doesn't seem to be working out for them. I just fancy Tottenham to get the better of them here. Obviously, Chris Wilder's done a good job, but Jose Mourinho is a better tactician. Jose Mourinho gets the win for me. 2.11, 2.11 or plus 111, or plus 110 is a good set of odds.
So just don't complicate it. I mean, you could almost go with Spurs and under 4.5 as well. Now, the biggest game of the season, when last August, when you saw the fixture list, it's Man City at plus 120, draw plus 275, and the champions Liverpool at plus 235. I'll come to you first again, Matt, because you're a Liverpool fan. Obviously, Man City, no Aguero, no Fernandinho. Do we see Man City beating Liverpool, or Liverpool want to put another nail in their coffin?
I see this as being just a nice classic match between these two. I think that it's going to be free flowing. When we talk about records and whatnot, Liverpool are going for the most points in a season, and Man City hold that record right now. So they know that Liverpool are coming for that. And to me here, City with the FA Cup, there will be rotation involved. I think that we're getting a really nice price on Liverpool coming off of this high. I think that they are a squad that is still laser focused. I know that they last night, partied, and they're probably going to be partying again today, but I expect them to buckle down once more here. And we're finding Liverpool at a draw double chance here at minus 130. I think it looks pretty fair. I think that we saw some of City's frailties once more yesterday, just like with the Pulisic counter-attack. I think that was terrible defending just all around from City. They make too many mistakes for me, and I think it's a really even match. So if I can get draw double chance on Liverpool, I think that's more than fair. I do think that both teams score, and I think the over 2.5 comes in as well. I know that some unders have been coming in, especially with the heat and whatnot, but I just think that both of these teams are actually going to be really up for this one, and I see it as a normal Man City-Liverpool match.
Martin, I quite like Liverpool draw no bet, to be honest.
Yeah, it's an astonishing price on Liverpool when you consider they've won, I think it's 28 out of 31 games this season, won the title in record-breaking fashion, been pretty invincible throughout the season, and have a decent record against Man City. Yeah, as I say, an astonishing price. I guess the bookmakers have just factored in that maybe there's going to be a bit of a hangover from their celebrations. Obviously, Man City are going to have a point to prove. They're playing for pride more than anything in this game, even though they do have upcoming challenges, whereas Liverpool have only got the league to focus on. I think Guardiola will make some changes. Obviously, Fernandinho is going to be out because he's going to be suspended. Mendy, you've just got to get rid of Mendy. I feel like he'll play Zinchenko, which will make them a bit tougher at the back. Who knows how this is going? I think we're going to see both teams scoring over 2.5 goals. I think we're going to be in for a good game. Probably, I would say 2-1 to Liverpool, but you just never know with the way David Silva can pull the strings and stuff. Could be a great game. So I'm going to stay away from the outrights. Both teams to score over 2.5 goals at 1.83, which is minus 120.
Yeah, it's a great price, 1.83. I just think that Liverpool draw no bet. If you've got Liverpool and the draw on your side, because you're not going to lose anything if it is a draw, then you think you go with them. I think Liverpool want to go and put down a statement, to be honest. Martin, give me a rundown, please. If you've got a parlay, then do one. If not, then just give me your banker.
Okay, so I'm going to go for Wolves and under 4.5 goals against Aston Villa, 2.05. I'm going to go for Southampton and Watford under 2.5 goals at 1.88. I'm going to pass that Watford game. Man United to beat Brighton at 1.8. Arsenal and the over 1.5 goals against Norwich at 1.87. Don't know why, but I'm going for both teams to score in that Everton versus Leicester game at 1.8. Definitely fancy Chelsea in the over 1.5 goals against West Ham at 1.95. Tottenham to beat Sheffield United for me at 2.11, and both teams to score an over 2.5 goals at 1.83 when Man City host Liverpool at Etihad.
Okay, and your banker?
Again, maybe a bit, people are going to accuse me of betting on Arsenal even though I support them, but Arsenal and over 1.5 goals against Norwich. Norwich, very, very poor. If you don't beat them, there's got to be an inquest.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's an absolute moral, to be honest. Matt, give me your rundown, please, and if you've got a banker or a parlay.
Yep. I'll just start it off right away. I think that my banker is going to be Liverpool draw double chance against City. I found that at 1.77. I've got both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, and Manchester City, Liverpool, 1.83. Wolves to beat Villa, 1.81. Newcastle plus a quarter of a goal, 1.87. Sheffield Spurs under 2.5 goals, 1.75. United to beat Brighton, 1.78. Arsenal and under 4.5 goals, 1.77. And Chelsea and the under 4.5. Okay. 0.
And your banker?
My banker is Liverpool, draw double chance.
Okay, well, I fancy Wolves to beat Villa. But I'm just going to give you my parlay and my banker. My parlay is going to be Arsenal and over 1.5. Manchester United in a parlay. And my absolute moral is Arsenal and minus 1.5. I just see Arsenal. Why am I keep going back to them? I don't know. And all the other bets, as you know, I've given out as we went along. So before I say goodbye to the boys, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button, ring the bell. Ring the bell means that we can notify you and you never miss any content. And that means La Liga, Bundesliga, although that's finished, Serie A and Premier League. And also if you press the link in the description, then you will take you to all of our soccer articles on our soccer pages. And if you have a little scout around, you'll see other sports with other writers. Also, a little bit of appreciation will be if you press the thumbs up if you've liked this video for Matt and for Martin. We'll see you again soon. Thanks, Martin. Thanks, Matt. Have a great weekend, although this is going to be like 5 or 6 days. And we'll go again next week.
Cheers, Flash. Look forward to it.
Thanks, Flash.
Cheers, that's Martin and Matt with our Premier League punters. Liverpool are the champions. Now, who's going down? And the top 4 is all up for grabs. We'll see you soon. You take care.